This is the new CV Life 360 swivel bipod, and we're going to find out if this is any good or just a cheap knockoff on this episode of Moondog Industries. This is CV Life's new bipod. It's a Picatinny bipod that they sent me to test and evaluate. Let's see, we've got the bipod here. We have an Allen key. And we have an instruction manual. Alright. So this looks pretty much, well, it's very similar to the Magpul bipod that, but I'm not going to say it's a direct rip-off of them, but it certainly looks very similar, if not inspired, by the Magpul bipod here. It is a combination of polymer and some what appears to be aluminum core on the legs, and also on the Picatinny mount clamp on the top. And it is retained by a single hex screw there, and the adjustment knob is polymer and presumably a steel or aluminum core. Okay. The lower part of the legs feels like it's polymer, the bottom is rubberized. Oh, I like the fact that there are indication marks for the different teeth and the height positions. So once you know you have it a certain height and for a given rifle, you can make note of that and immediately get it into that position. I like the fact that it's labeled, so it just helps you remember how far down you need to place your bipod legs. And they are held in to place on the main swing arm by these peg buttons that lock into these notches and keep it in place. There's a little bit of wobble that's inherent in this, and it does turn on an axis, and you can tighten that down with the main screw at the bottom. Pretty straightforward. The only thing I would have liked to have is, if it would have been nice, since they are a budget, CV Life is known as a budget accessory company, if they would have thrown in an M-lock adapter. Let's see how well this works on an actual rifle. Installation to a Picatinny rail is very straightforward. You clamp on the mount and then tighten it down with an Allen wrench, and one is included. As it turns out, CV Life also makes a direct M-lock attached version as well as a swivel attached version of this bipod. The hinge has a quick deploy design, allowing you to easily extend the arms into a right angle position. Now, I'm pointing this out for YouTube staff that reviews videos that know nothing about firearms. A bipod is not an illegal modification. It is merely an accessory that helps the user aim accurately and safely. It cannot in any way make the rifle shoot faster. Bipods serve the same role as a sandbag or backpack. You can rest your rifle on a backpack to steady it while you aim. And that is exactly what this bipod is doing for this rifle, albeit using metal and plastic arms. Alright, we're going to unload, stick a chamber flag, and go check our targets. Alright, so we had a test with the bipod, and we're going to go downrange and see how well we did. Overall, in terms of my own visceral experience with it, I found it to be a very steady bipod, offering a good, solid support for aiming. I tend to prefer a more rigid setup. What I like about this is that with that knob, you can adjust it for either tilt or rotating it, or you can cinch it down and you get a very rigid bipod. So here we go. All right, let's take a look here. The diamond target on the left is with the rifle on a shooting rest while I was zeroing out my LPVO, and the diamond target on the right that I'm pointing to is the target I was aiming at using the CV Life bipod. Your results may vary. Certainly, your rifle is probably more accurate than mine, and you may very well be able to shoot much better than I can. But as far as my testing goes, I found this CV Life bipod to be quite steady, certainly as effective as shooting from a rifle rest. All right, before we get into the CV Life bipod, I'd like to ask you to hit the like button right now. Just takes a second, and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel already. It's absolutely free. They don't charge you a subscription fee on YouTube or Rumble for that matter. When you hit the subscribe button, you're just telling the algorithm that you like these kind of videos, and it will suggest more videos from my channel if you're a subscriber. So thanks for doing that. All right, so the CV Life bipod is remarkably well built for a budget bipod. In fact, I honestly, when I heard that they were coming out with a polymer, or essentially a plastic and metal bipod, I thought, oh, it's going to be really chintzy. But when I got to testing it, I was surprised at how well put together it was. And it's actually better built than CV Life's Harris bipod knockoff. And you might even call this a Magpul knockoff. Certainly there's a lot of similarities in overall design. So there's enough differences in how the hinging mechanism appears to be built that I guess they can get around trademark or whatever issues or copyright issues on this, but whatever. This is a budget bipod for sure, and it's half the price of the Magpul, but it has a lot of the features that you'd want from it. It's got polymer legs with rubberized bottoms, so it reduces weight, and it also has a quick deploy feature, which I don't think I got into in the testing footage, but once it's in the stowed position, you don't have to press the locking button to unlock it. You can just drop it and it's good to go. But now it's pretty stable. I mean, just like the Magpul bipod, it's got a lot of, freedom of, it's got a lot of extra tolerances there in terms of being, people criticize the Magpul for being a little wobbly. I actually didn't think this is that. Once you get it cinched down, it's really not that wobbly. It's not a precision bipod by any measure. It's a utilitarian bipod, and this CV Life bipod is just as utilitarian. So if you're interested in picking up one of these, I'll include product links as well as more information in my full written review at moondogindustries.com. Check out that article, use those links, help support this channel. And I want to thank CV Life for sending this out for me to test and evaluate, and let me know if you have one of these, your experiences with it. Thanks for watching. You be safe out there. Moondog, out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.